Yeah, and I like that mixture. Yeah, we need the linearity, right? I mean, we're born at some point, we die at some point, stuff happened before, stuff happens later, and we know that. But we also need this recurrence, right? We don't want things to be constantly changing all the time, different every time. Although there's maybe interesting sort of mindfulness kind of thing of realizing all of that. But anyway, I don't think we're
Well,
we're talking about that, but
well, I would just say to that, no, I think you're totally right in that what the mindfulness thing that you're talking about is you purposefully experience the changing, so that it reveals the eternal that's inside of you. You know, that's
mm,
meditation is if you you get lost in thought, you come back to your breath. It's like you're you're coming back to something that anchors you to the present, and the present is eternal. Present is always the
right.
present, and
Right.
it's never not the present.
Right.
The past and the future aren't, they don't really exist except as
Yeah.
memories. The only thing we actually experience is the present, and it never isn't that. So it's an eternity in a kind of a sense.
Right. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I'm
And the
getting a
even the
little ahead of
word
my pay grade, but it's interesting stuff.
no, it really is. Yeah, for me as well. And yeah, the etymology of the word that we get that we translate into mindfulness is sati, and the idea is remembering, right? Which is
Hmm.
interesting because it's not about nostalgia. It's not about thinking back to the past or analyzing it or something like that, but it's something about being present, but it being like a memory in some way when you're really
Hmm.
deeply in the present.
Yeah. I think of it as like when you have a memory and you know you have a memory, and you have a clear memory, you know for sure how something happened. At least for your own subjective purposes. I'm not talking about, yeah, memory is not objective. It doesn't work that way, but you can be like, oh
Mm.
yeah, I remember I was doing this at this time with this person. That's when I heard that song the first time, whatever it is. Like it kind of clicks, something clicks when you have a clear memory. To
Mm.
have the present moment click in that same way. Like you are aware of what's going on. You know what's on every level. Like you're just sort of present to it in the
Yeah.
same way that when a memory is present to you, you have the full memory. The real world, this present moment, is present to you in a way that I don't want to say feels like a memory, but also I think that that creates memory the best way. If we're actually present to it,
I think
it
so,
will
yeah.
be built into our sort of structures. So
Is one thing about it's sort of like if you're truly present, everything kind of makes sense, kind of like a memory does, like you're encoding it in a way where you feel like you understand it
yeah,
and
yeah.
not intellectually where you're analyzing this thing and that thing, although, but yeah, where you're understanding it as a kind of whole and there's no sort of like this story, there's no rejection that this is not real. This is not right in some way. There's no
Mhm.
fly in the ointment. It's all
Mhm.
ointment.
Yeah, yeah.